In this episode, we will talk about appropriate guinea pig cages. This is the Midwest Wabbitat. It is Midwest brand. They're calling it the Wabbitat Deluxe. It is a 47-inch by 24-inch. I really like this one. This one's one of my favorites. It is a solid plastic base, and it has a caged lid or roof on it. This brand does offer extensions available for this cage, and you can always get 2 cages and connect them. This particular setup with the 47-inch would be appropriate for 2 sows or 1 boar, and you would need to remove that plastic ledge and ramp inside that cage. This here is another really good cage option. It is the Midwest cage. It is a green canvas bottom. This particular cage does come with a divider and a roofing or lid to the top of it. There is a version that does not come with the divider and the lid. In my opinion, you would need the lid. I don't like the divider in there. I would take the divider out. It doesn't allow for ample exercise space with the divider in there. This cage is a 24 by 48 inch, so it is appropriate for 2 sows or 1 boar. This is the Xylena wooden cage. It is appropriate for 3 sows or 2 boars. So if you had 3 sows in there, you would need to take out the middle divider. For the 2 boars, you could either have them separate or you could take out the divider. This one does not come with a roofing or ceiling, any type of that situation. I've not had this type of cage, but I don't see why it wouldn't be a good quality guinea pig cage. So this one is Full Cheeks brand. This particular main chain pet store that this one comes from has really, and the next couple come from the same store as well. They've really stepped up their game for all of their stock in their store. Their cages are actually appropriate now. Not always, but they do carry some that are appropriate, like this cage. This one is a 60-inch by 35-inch cage. You would need to remove that ramp and ledge. The ledges are weak. They're not able to support more than 1 guinea pig at the time. There's no guard to make sure they don't fall off, and that ramp is not good either for those same reasons. The ledge additionally becomes weaker and weaker over time to where it kind of caves in the middle, and that's just not something I would be willing to put my guinea pigs on. It doesn't seem safe, but otherwise this is a good cage. I have this cage. I love it. It is 60 inches by 35 inches, so you can put 2 boars in here or 3 sows. I really like it. It's got a roof to it. It's got 2 doors on the front and 1 on the top. Here is another cage that you can get at that same pet store. It's a 54-inch by 27-inch. So this is appropriate for either 2 sows or 1 boar. The ramp and that ledge would, of course, need to be removed. This one does have side access and top access, which I really like, being able to use that top door. It makes it so much easier for adding or changing out any types of hides and larger accessories to your cage. This one does have a slidey drawer that you can just slide out. It makes it real easy for dumping for daily litter changes. This is another cage from that same pet store. It's called the Courtyard Cage. So this one is really expensive, and you're not going to really be able to use a lot of what you get with this cage. You're not going to be able to use that ramp and that ledge that's in the cage, and then you're not going to be able to use the, quote, courtyard, which is that playpen. They're just calling it a courtyard because of that same ramp that you're using to get down. That courtyard also doesn't have a lid, so it's not a secure, safe area for those guinea pigs to be, in my opinion. On top of the fact that they have to go up a ramp. Um, they're just not made for climbing. They're just not. So this cage would be appropriate for 2 sows or 1 boar. And you're probably thinking, why am I going to get all these cages that I'm going to have to modify and not be able to use everything that comes with it? So that's kind of the thing. Like, you're not going to find a cage where you're going to be able to use everything unless you're custom building your cage from scratch, which there is a certain type of cage brand that does do that, but it's just not that common. I mean, the pet store is after sales. They're not after what is best for your guinea pig. So this is a little cage. I really wouldn't use it unless it is your only option. It is only appropriate for 1 boar, and that ramp and ledge must be removed. That is not at all safe. That poor little guy in that picture has no room to run around. He needs that full access to that whole cage. And again, guinea pigs need a buddy. So you can't put another male in there with him. So you're going to need to get 2 of these cages, which it does hook up to where you are able to do that. So they can have basically the 2 full cages. But it's still kind of pushing it for 2 males. In this situation, it would be better to keep them probably just in cages right next to each other where they can sniff and touch noses through the cage versus being in the cage together. So this is an Oxbow extra large enriched life cage. I've had this cage personally for guinea pigs and for rabbits. I really liked it. It's not worth the price and how heavy it is when you can get the same thing with the full cheek 60-inch by 35-inch cage. It's honestly, that one's a little bit bigger, that full cheeks one, and it's not so heavy. But this Oxbow cage is good quality. Again, you're not going to be able to use the ramp, the ledge, or the playpen, and it's appropriately sized for 2 sows and 1 boar. This cage does have a cylinder hay feeder that you're also not going to be able to use. It's the perfect size for guinea pigs to stick their head in and get stuck. If you have a rabbit, if you have a larger rabbit, you might be able to use it, as long as that rabbit can't get their head stuck. And I would say it's safe to use. If anyone has any questions, please let me know, and don't forget to like and follow.